Hey you guys, I just went to the grocery store and there's like no tomato sauce on the shelves. It's super crazy. But there are a bunch of tomatoes fresh in the produce section. And I was like, I'm just gonna make my own sauce, and what a great opportunity to show you how to do so as well. Because making your own sauce is so easy, it's so delicious, and honestly, I think it's a lot better than what you can buy in the jar or in the can usually. You only need like 5 ingredients. You need fresh tomatoes, just like these guys. You're gonna need some olive oil, salt and pepper, basil, and garlic. And that's it. It's super easy. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how to make your own fresh marinara sauce. Alright, so I have 2 pounds of fresh tomatoes here. I'm using ripe Roma tomatoes, but you can use any ripe tomatoes that you can find at the store. What we're going to do is notice where the top end is. We're going to flip it over and then use a knife and make 2 cuts to make an X in the bottom of each tomato. The next step is you want to get a pot of boiling water going. You also want to get a bowl of ice water. So when you have the boiling water ready to go, what you're going to do is take like 2 or 3 tomatoes at a time and put them into the water. And we're gonna let them cook in there for just about like 15 to 20 seconds. And this is going to kind of help them just barely cook where the skin is going to release off of them, and then we can peel them. And this is gonna help make a really smooth tomato sauce. So we're just letting them sit in the water really fast. And then when I feel like they're just about ready, I'm going to immediately move them over to the ice water. And this is a pretty classic cooking technique called blanching. Alright, I think that's about good. So I'm going to grab them, and you can kind of see real fast, like the skin is a little bit loose. Put them into the water right away. Get them all nice and cooled. And then I'm going to repeat that with the remaining tomatoes until they're all blanched. Alright, so all of our tomatoes just got blanched, and I want to show you how easy the skin peels away. So just like that, you're going to peel off the skin of each one of these tomatoes. That little X in the bottom really helps to get like a little hold on it, and it'll just peel right off. It's so easy. So by doing this, we're making a tomato that is just this piece is like so soft. There's not going to be like weird kind of pieces of tomato skin in there, because this is like delicious, but just doesn't break down into a really smooth sauce. So that is the purpose of why we are blanching these and then removing the skin. So go ahead and do that with the rest of the tomatoes. After you have peeled all your tomatoes, what you're going to do is grab a knife and then cut each one in half. And we're going to remove the little bit of the core that's there. So I'm just going to kind of cut a little triangle into there and just keep the core out. And then we can go ahead and cut each tomato basically into 8 sections. So I'm going to check for the core, cut it into chunks, and just keep repeating this with the rest of your tomatoes until you have a bunch of rough chopped tomatoes. And then we're going to go ahead and start cooking this very delicious sauce. Alright, now we have all of our tomatoes all chopped up like that. Next thing we're going to do is grab 3 cloves of garlic, and to remove the peel, there's a couple of different ways you can do it, but one pretty easy way is just putting it down on the board, taking your knife flat side down, and just giving it a pretty firm tap. You're going to feel it kind of squish down a little bit, and that's when you know that it's ready, and you can just take it and peel off the skin super easy like that. So I'll do that with the rest of these. Now you're going to take your garlic, and I'm just going to take each one, cut it in half, kind of long ways, and then go back and slice it pretty thinly through the garlic the other way. So you don't need to mince it super fine. We're just cutting it into little slices. And this is going to give the sauce such a great fresh garlic taste. Next, what you want to do is grab that same pot that you used for the tomatoes, dump out the water, dry it out, heat it on like medium-high heat. When it's nice and hot like this one is, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. All right, and then we're going to add our garlic in there. You want to hear that sizzling sound? That lets you know that your pan is hot enough. Okay, we're gonna let that cook just until the garlic gets nice and fragrant. We don't really want it to brown or anything. We just want to make the garlic nice and fragrant in there. Okay, that looks awesome. Now we're gonna go ahead and add the tomatoes. Then we're gonna add some fresh black pepper. I like to do several good grinds in there. And then we're gonna do a big pinch of some flaky or kosher salt. Okay, then just stir that together. So we have the tomatoes cooking, simmering over there. We have it on about medium heat. You're gonna keep it like that for about 25 minutes total. Every couple minutes, just use a spoon and kind of smash the tomatoes down. This will help them break down into a nice smooth consistency for the sauce. And we want this to reduce by about half over that 25 minutes-ish. And then about halfway through, we're gonna go ahead and add a bunch of fresh basil leaves. We're about halfway cooking here. It's been cooking about like 13, 14-ish minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a handful of rough chopped fresh basil. It's about 1/4 cup of basil total, and then we'll just give that a stir in there. All right, and here's our sauce. So this has been cooking just about 25 minutes, and as you can see, it's gotten pretty thick. It is still a little bit liquidy, especially around the edges, but it's thickened up. It smells super fragrant. You do want to go ahead and give it a taste and see if you need to add some more salt and or pepper, whatever is kind of feeling good to you. But yeah, this is perfect now, and we can use this to top a homemade pizza, for pasta. I mean, any way that you would use like a marinara sauce or a tomato sauce. This stuff is awesome. All right, thanks for following along, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that little virtual cooking class, and I really hope you enjoy this marinara sauce. It's so delicious, probably my favorite way to make classic marinara. So again, hope you enjoy.